My girlfriend just bought this wrecked Land Rover Defender and she thinks she can rebuild it.
I will.
After 5 years of watching me rebuild cars, Hannah's finally decided to give one a go herself. You want to do it?
I want to do it.
And she shows this, the new Land Rover Defender, which at first she thought was quite minimal damage. Chassis damage.
Oh no.
But it turned out to be hiding a lot more than she originally thought.
Oh.
But as she bought this car blind from an online auction, there's always that risk involved. And now she's committed to rebuilding this car with hopes that she's got herself a bargain.
I found it. I bought it.
We're hoping, well you're hoping that it's not too big of a repair.
No.
What's happened here then?
Oh, fixed it.
First fix, and I did that. I didn't force you for that one.
Oh my god.
Look, we've got dents on this side though. Dent here, dent here.
Is this missing an arch as well, like a wide arch?
Oh yeah, we're missing. Is that what we're missing? So this is a standard Land Rover Defender, how they leave the factory. But the one that Hannah's bought has, or did have, an urban kit fitted to it, which should look like this. But the problem we're going to have, it looks like some of the urban parts are missing or damaged, which means we're going to have to buy them as well to fix this one. So basically we were missing an urban arch here, so we're probably going to have to ring urban to see if we can get that. And it looks like the same is missing from the right hand side. Oh, I think there's something missing out of here as well. Definitely something missing out of here.
It's all got like hair and like sticky stuff.
Oh, it's been used in here, isn't it? Very well.
Yeah, but this is what these cars are for. It's like a workhorse.
That's true.
We've not quite got to all the damage yet, but one thing we want to make sure is that the engine runs. This is the 3 litre diesel one. It's one of them cars as well where you can't check the oil.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, has it got a dipstick?
Yeah.
They did something good.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Dipstick.
Oh, it's got oil in it. Good news there. We should be good to start it. Do you want to start it up and see if it starts? The battery is dead, so Hannah had to put the jumper pack on, and then we could give it a start. Okay, go and see. Ready?
Yeah.
Oh,
First time.
smooth. Very smooth. That runs well smooth. She's a cruiser. How many miles?
62,000.
Ooh.
And for a 2021 Defender, with that sort of mileage, you're looking at over £60,000. So far, things were looking good for Hannah. No engine light. So far, so good. It's a proper farmer's car, isn't it? The dashboard was clear of faults, and it was looking like an easy fix. That was until we started looking into the wheel arch. Chassis damage.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What, bad?
Oh, you're going to have your hands full
In
now.
there. The chassis behind the front wheel looks like it's taken a really big hit. So maybe this wasn't going to turn out as easy as Hannah first thought. But there was no point in us trying to see the damage whilst it was on the trailer here. So we needed to get it inside the unit so we could lift it up in the ramp to inspect that damage further.
I've never put a car in the ramp before, so I just feel like it'll fall on me.
After all, this car is a Category S, which stands for structural damage. And I think we've just found it. What has happened, the wheel's gone back and hit the frame of the car, like that Merc did.
That's insane. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. But it's good that the wheel's broken, because if the wheel didn't break, it would have broke something else. If the wheel was really strong, then it would have broke more of the chassis.
I mean, it's a massive wheel as well.
Now, we need to inspect the damage. You can never truly see how much damage an accident has caused until you start stripping the parts around the damage. And that's exactly what we're doing now. Out comes the arch lining, that'll need replacing, and then we can just take a look at the chassis damage inside the wheel arch. It's still pretty hard to see exactly how bad it is. Your job, get the suspension off and the brakes.
You can be the tool boy.
Thank you.
Oh, the death bolt.
More of the suspension is being taken off. Hannah's removing the brake caliper, and her and my dad were going to tie it up on the shock absorber until they realised they were going to be removing that later. So instead, they clamp the rubber hose to stop the brake fluid leak when they unbolt the brake line from the actual caliper so it can move it away from the car. But it still looked like the brake fluid leaked everywhere.
I thought you were making it better.
Next up is the brake disc. There's only one bolt which holds this to the wheel hub. Then, off it comes. Right. We think it's more than likely that this is going to be bent because it's had a big hit and it's aluminium. So we're going to replace that. But also, check this out. This part of the subframe has broken away, which is going to be another big job. But to get to it all, we've got to remove all of this. First up, the drive shaft. This huge nut here is coming off, which holds it to the wheel hub. My dad loosely screwed it back on so then Hannah can hit the drive shaft without damaging the threads on the end. Then it should pop out the wheel hub. The only thing holding the wheel hub to the rest of the car now is one lower arm. Hannah undoes that nut there. Then the wheel hub can be lifted off. That'll definitely need replacing.
Bolt boy.
Then the anti-roll bar drop link can be disconnected from the shock absorber and the shock absorber unbolted from the lower arm and from the subframe as well.
There she goes.
What are we doing now, Hannah?
Got to disconnect 2 wires and then there's 4 bolts.
And once they're undone, the whole shock absorber should be able to be removed. Now this big heavy car is on air suspension, and this part here which Hannah's undoing is the air line which goes into the suspension. Once she's disconnected that, there's then 4 nuts which are holding the shock absorber on.
You're enjoying yourself, Hannah?
A great time. I feel like I am really competent with this stuff. Yes, I am slower, but I don't do this every day.
And so far, so good. Don't drop the nut.
Too late.
Out that comes. And to be honest, this damper doesn't look too bad, and they are expensive. But there's some parts we won't get away without replacing. On to the next step.
Up in the air, under trays off, disconnect this side off the subframe without actually disconnecting too much.
The goal is to get the subframe off now, because there's some bad damage to it on that right hand side and we're not going to be able to fix it. But there's a lot of things which connect to that subframe. You can see the damage here. First thing to disconnect are all the arms which are on the left hand side, which are going from the hub to the subframe. Then this part of the front bumper comes off. After that, Hannah's removing the front wheel so she can remove the front arch lining on the left hand side, because once you get this out the way, you can then take the bolt out for the arm. That's the suspension disconnected on the left hand side. Now my dad's disconnecting the steering rack from the steering column, because the steering rack's actually going to come down with the subframe. And last but not least, the drive shaft. Hannah's just pulled this out of the front differential. Now we can go back to the top of the engine. We need to support it. Okay, what we need to do now is hold the engine up here so then the subframe can go down. And to do that, we're going to be using the engine support bar. This goes across the engine onto the structure on each side, and then a strap will hold the engine up. Right, that is holding the engine upwards now. All we're going to do is disconnect the engine mounts from the subframe, and then the subframe should be able to come down, leaving the engine in the car. What we don't want to happen is the engine come down with the subframe, then we're in big trouble. Now, to disconnect the engine from the subframe, which is connected with the engine mounts. And there's 4 bolts on the engine mounts on each side. There's only 2 engine mounts though. I'm just squeezing my hand in now to undo those bolts. And finally, we need to make it clear so the subframe can come down without damaging any part of the car. And once we're happy with it, we're lowering the subframe down and we can unbolt it. All the bolts are removed from the subframe, just making sure everything's disconnected from the subframe to the car, and we should be able to lower the subframe down. And we're really hoping that our bar on the top holds the engine, else the engine is going to come out with the subframe, which wouldn't be good. And with all the bolts disconnected from the subframe, it lowered down onto the jack, and once we was happy with it, my dad lifted the car up, which left the subframe onto the jack. All of that just because of that. So all of that had to be removed because of that. You can see the bad side looks like this, and it's supposed to look like that. Okay, next job, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this wing off because it has, I think, gone backwards, and also it's just gonna give us a little bit better access to all this, and then we can see if there's any more damage behind here, because this isn't looking good. To take the wing off, there's a few bolts under here, a few bolts in there, but we do have to get this part off so we can access the 2 bolts behind there. Let's go. This should also give us a lot better access to the structural damage that's underneath the wing as well. First off, the front grille, then the headlights around. This car's coming apart quite easily. Then all the bolts for the wing on top, and whilst I'm doing that, Liam's doing the bolts which connect the wing to the front bumper. And that's about everything done at the front there. We've just got to go inside the wing, remove the washer bottle, and there's 2 more bolts which hold the wing to the chassis. Then, off it comes. I can finally remove the washer bottle and the lower half of the wing. And now we can really get an idea of how bad this structural damage actually is. We're hoping we can fix it ourselves.